Well, I've already done a bunch of superhero movies, so why not another one? Going into Justice League, I was in an odd position. I had no idea whether it would be a flat-out bad movie like its predecessors, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Suicide Squad, or if the whole DCEU thing would begin taking steps in the right direction after the pretty good Wonder Woman. So, the big question, what is Justice League more of? The three bad ones, or Wonder Woman? Honestly, I'd say it's a mix of both. It's certainly not as bad as Dawn of Justice, but it's not even close to the good, but not great Wonder Woman. I'm a bit on the fence whether or not I straight out call it a bad movie, so I may come up with new opinions over time, maybe even as I write about it, but I certainly feel confident enough to create a review of it. I promise I won't go into any spoilers, just in case anyone still wants to watch this after all the less than stellar reviews. If I had to sum up Justice League with one word, it would be bearable. Immediately, that puts it above most other films in the DCEU. You'd have to try really hard to beat those in awfulness. So the standard is so low that being just bearable may sound like it's some kind of endorsement. Even Wonder Woman, being just a pretty good and nothing special film, felt like Christ's second coming. So yes, bearable. I'll talk about the positives first. First off, most of the acting is good. Ben Affleck still plays the role of an older, grizzled Bruce Wayne very well. Gal Gadot, whatever, is still the definitive Wonder Woman of our generation and will probably always be remembered for this role. Jeremy Irons plays a pretty chill Alfred, and Ezra Miller, while being everyone's second Barry Allen, brings a solid performance. I also think Justice League learned from the series' previous mistakes. It never becomes all unnecessarily dark and moody and serious. Plenty of jokes and one-liners are tossed around, which help lighten the mood. Certainly not all of the jokes landed for me, maybe not even half of them, but I appreciate the attempts at humor. That, coupled with a runtime of only 2 hours, makes Justice League far more watchable than its predecessors. So again, bearable. If you do end up seeing it, odds are you won't be suffering. On the negative side, well, there are a lot of things. To start off, J.K. Simmons. He's an amazing actor, easily among my favorites to watch on screen, but his talent is completely wasted here. Simmons plays Commissioner Gordon and gets maybe 2 short scenes. He doesn't even get to yell at anyone. Come on, what a waste. I wanted to see him roast Aquaman or something. Okay, I just started with J.K. Simmons because that was the easiest complaint to get out of the way. Next are the characters. Out of the entire main cast, we only know 2 of the League members, and Batman wasn't even all that well defined in Dawn of Justice. The result is that before the movie gets going, we have to stop and be introduced to 3 new main characters simultaneously and still have enough time to do everything else in the story and still be under 2 hours. The result is basically a repeat of the Suicide Squad prologue, except not nearly as obnoxious or jumpy, but it's still a little annoying. It's like an origin or coming of age story for 3 new characters in one movie. And so the characters are left underdeveloped. I didn't see myself caring for anybody in this movie. So big triumphant character moments that are supposed to be big and triumphant just fell flat because nobody actually cared. What should have been the moment to stand up and start cheering fell upon a totally silent and unenthusiastic audience. Also, I really don't like this Aquaman and Cyborg. Aquaman acts like a whiny, emo teen for half of the movie, and this film takes him way too seriously. Okay, really. How are you gonna try to play Aquaman straight? The result is the film being unintentionally funny whenever it's trying to make him serious. What they should have done was have Aquaman try to be overly moody and cool, but everyone else is all like, okay, calm down, you're just Aquaman. Just stop. That would have been really funny, no one taking him seriously. How could they miss that opportunity? As for Cyborg, he mostly mopes around and complains about being half machine the entire time, and the direction he's given is also unintentionally hilarious. He just stares so seriously and overdramatically at everything. His performance is so funny to watch. And how could I not mention the villain, Steppenwolf? He's just so boring and generic and uninteresting in every way. A villain from outer space, or another dimension, or whatever, who comes to Earth and wants to wipe out mankind. Wow, so original. He basically has Zod's plan for Man of Steel to destroy Earth and terraform it into a suitable planet for their kind. Just whatever. I'm probably not going to remember his name by tomorrow. You might as well just call him insert generic villain here. A few more problems that I'll address quickly. The action is bland. It's another one of those superhero teams that fight an army of minions, and then the big baddie. Nothing special here. We've seen it so many times before, just like the villain. And that's kind of sad, cause this is Justice League. It should be awesome, and epic, and cool, but it's just... average comic book movie fluff at best. The CGI is very obvious, and could be distracting at times. Half the time, Cyborg literally looks like a floating head just because of the CGI abundance. Justice League also doesn't seem to realize Batman's potential. He basically becomes the guy who buys all the equipment, but never truly Batman. While the others are fighting waves of henchmen, he struggles with just one. The movie seems to forget how smart, skilled, and prepared he's supposed to be, so Batman ends up looking useless without his credit card. And finally, cool ideas are introduced and tossed out like nothing. Even ideas about the characters that sound interesting on paper get either forgotten about or resolved like nothing. I won't specify what exactly I'm talking about, but those who've already seen the movie probably understand. In the end, what do I think of Justice League? Well, it's complicated. I see a few improvements to make the experience more watchable, but there are still plenty of gaping issues throughout the entire film. I won't call it flat out bad though. I'll say it's only fairly bad, but not disgustingly so. It's watchable, and I wouldn't cry my eyes out to the point of dehydration if I knew I had to view it again. Let's be real, if you're a fan of any of these characters, you'll probably go see it anyways if you haven't already. And if for some reason you're a massive DCEU fan, I can't imagine why, you'll probably block out the negative criticism, force yourself to like it, and try to shut down review sites that haven't done the same, just like with Suicide Squad. So, those are my thoughts on Justice League. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and check out similar videos in the description below. Thanks for watching. Guys, because this week is Thanksgiving, and that involves a lot of traveling and visiting friends and family, for the first time since I started uploading in June, I'll be taking the week off. Afterwards, I'll be wrapping up the first season of Tim Rex. The following week will be a film fight between the Avengers and Justice League, followed by a My Favorite Things on The Empire Strikes Back, a review of The Last Jedi, a highlight reel or two of Season 1, and then I'll take a few weeks break followed by Season 2 in January. Sometime during all this, I'll post some of my video ideas for the new year, and I encourage suggestions and feedback as we continue. And that's about it. Have a swell Thanksgiving, everybody.